Tonight on News 5 Live, a sudden loss for the Leadership Intervention Unit as the connective tissue that held the peace among rival gangs in Belize City passes away. A midday fire in Belize City leaves several persons homeless, and the Chamber of Commerce takes on campaign financing reform. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. Smart, your full-service communication provider.
Welcome to Design Depot, home of Sherwin-Williams Paint. Sherwin-Williams Paint is one of the most reputable paints in the industry, known for its superior quality, durability, and environmentally friendly technology. We carry a large variety of products for all your home and commercial needs, such as interior and exterior paints, primers, wood stains, sealers, clear top coats, caulking, aerosols, concrete, and masonry products. Achieve professional-looking results with ease using Sherwin-Williams paint and coating. Available at Design Depot, all in one place.
The jackpot has gotten bigger. Don't miss your chance to get your hands on all that mega cash. You can win up to $186,564. Make sure you purchase your Mega Bingo tickets at any outlet countrywide so you can get into the game. The next live show airs this Wednesday, January 25th at 8 p.m. on Channel 5 and Love FM. You can also stream the game live on Facebook or YouTube. Just search for Belize Mega Bingo. So don't miss your chance to win. Remember, Mega Bingo is the game.
Tickets for the Los Angeles Azules concerts can be purchased at Cellular World and Dibari in Belize City, Escat Salon, Dibari, De La Fuente Pharmacy, and Limar's Boutique in Orange Walk, Shari Trejo in Key Cocker, Cellular World and Dibari in San Pedro, Cellular World and Dibari in Belmopan, Dibari and Finer Trends Clothing in Cayo, Zahara's Boutique in Corozal, Benque Viejo Hardware in Benque, and Family City in Danriga. Ultra VIP $400 Center, $350 Lateral 1 and $300 Lateral 2, VIP sitting $250 and VIP standing $200, General standing $100. Los Angeles Azules live in concert. See you there.
and welcome to News 5 Live for Wednesday, January 25th. I am Sabrina Daly. This morning, Belizeans woke up to the shocking news of the untimely passing of William Dawson, the chairman of the Leadership Intervention Unit. His contributions to crime fighting, particularly throughout the gang-ridden streets of Belize City, are unmatched. He dedicated the last 2 years of his life breaking bread with the most vulnerable in society in an effort to understand their needs and champion their cause. Through this approach, many young men and women within the gangs of Belize City came to know Dawson as a caring individual with their best interest at heart. The trust and bond he was able to build gave him unfettered access to these communities, even in the midst of an ongoing flare-up. But over the past few months, unbeknown to many, Dawson was suffering from a serious ailment that claimed his life this morning. News 5's Paul Lopez took a closer look at the life and legacy of William Dawson. Here's that report.
William Dawson was the fabric that held together the delicate peace among rivaling gangs in Belize City. And tonight, many across the city and even the country are mourning his sudden passing. As a product of a gang-ridden community in the old capital, Dawson would dedicate his life to mentoring at-risk youths from all walks of life. He first made an impact at the Ladyville Technical High School as a teacher. He then took on the role of director at the Wagner's Youth Facility. And up until the time of his passing, Dawson was the chairman of the Leadership Intervention Unit. In his capacity at the LIU, he spent a great deal of time on the streets of Belize City, building relationships with feuding gangs in an effort to curb the senseless violence that has taken hold of the inner city.
The difference between a father and a dad is like the difference between a house and a home, you know. So the father contributes biologically, in my view, but the dad really is that person who nurtures, cares, mentors, and supports his children. Yeah. Not only his children, I believe that it's important to also nurture those who do not have that support around them. Yeah. So it incorporates the ideology that it takes a village to raise a child. And so as a dad, it's important for me to be able to spot that young man or that young woman who might need that type of support from a dad.
To many, those words embodied the life that William Dawson led. This afternoon, we met his wife, Sheena Dawson, among relatives and friends who gathered in Belize City to mourn the untimely passing. There, we spoke with Olga Gordon, a community activist who has known Dawson from his childhood days in St. Martin's area. She would later come to work alongside him at LIU.
His thing was to get some of them back to school. He wanted to get them into school, to get them into projects and anything that could have helped. Because when we sit down and talk, I was like, Mr. D, them boy don't have no job. They have a family, they have kids, they can't mind their children. What could you do? He said, Ms. G, any suggestion you come up with, we go with it. And that was when he started to have meeting with them, and he would call, we're going to talk to them, boy, one shooting just gone down. Mr. D, they shot you and they shot me. And he was like, no man, we're just going to talk with them, boy, and make them know, you know, we got them. And he got them. He had them. He was so true and faithful to these boys that I know right now, so much of them they crumble. So much of them they crumble. Because they look up to him. They always look up to Mr. D for get something done for them.
And today in Lake Independence, we met members of the community who came together to mourn Dawson's death, a true testament to his work and the positive influence he had over these young men. Only 5 months ago, a state of emergency was issued for this area, following a slew of murders. But on this occasion, that hostility was nowhere in sight, as a commitment was made to carry on the legacy their friend and mentor begun.
That man I'm far back here, and he represent everywhere where he go, and he don't forget along with people. You understand? So I don't know how things are working, but I hope they put somebody in a place where we do the things the right way.
What was your interactions like with him?
Because he come around and he talk to people when I talk to people, I then I get to know people. You understand me?
What was it about his approach that allowed him to have the sort of impact and effectiveness he would in these mediation sessions?
No, the man got a positive vibe, I keep it real. You understand? Once you keep it real, people can vibes with you. Once you don't keep it real, people can't vibes with you. The man just real to the thing.
For the whole team and for the whole work team, we just always say condolences to the family. Try to keep strong and make sure everything go through. We are the right at the funeral as a whole team, and we are trying to get the whole team together with all the hood name for step in and try to see if we could do the march up for please the man's soul and set down good. Che.
Like what I say right now, I get the sense of what I pay. I get the sense and the love there. I get the sense and I was just saying the man I'm a good man, man. I really got much to say to man, guy hurt. Check that out. It really hurt. It really hurt. The man made a try for we. The man really made a try for we, man. So we just continue the way he want. Check him wants a peace and love in the whole city. And we continue. We are keep that legacy. Trust me, we are keep it. We are keep it. We want to make the man smile. You get the sense? We want to make the man smile. We want to make the man say that, yeah, we continue the way he want. And we are continue it. Trust me.
In the Mayflower area, matriarch of the community, Sandra Utter, recounted her time with Dawson through his work with the LIU.
So far with the guys, they all had fair enough relationship with them. Even one of my grandson, he used to come out and talk to them, invite them to different meetings. He helped find jobs for them, which they are still working on. But he was a nice person, as far as I know. He used to come here also with Mr. Rosado, and we used to talk and explain situation that is happening, and he used to rectify it the best way he could.
The Leadership Intervention Unit is a branch of the Ministry of Home Affairs. Only last week, Dawson and Karim Musa, the Minister of Home Affairs, were together at a cabinet retreat in Cayo District, where they presented the ministry's 2023 crime-fighting strategy. At the time, Dawson was already experiencing health complications, and as Musa told us this morning, he insisted on being present at the retreat.
When I saw him, I said, Mr. Dawson, please do not come to the cabinet retreat the following week, because he had been preparing along with Mr. Rosado, Deputy Rosado, the launch of the multi-sectoral approach, which again is over the last year, a lot of work has gone into that with the LIU. And I said, Mr. Dawson, please focus on your health. Dr. Rosado and myself can handle it. And he said to me, Minister, if it is the last thing that I do, I need to let Cabinet know that we believe in these young men and women. And it's not just about letting Cabinet know, it's about letting those young men know.
Deputy Commissioner of Police Dr. Richard Rosado also spoke with News 5. Dr. Rosado, as the commander of Eastern Division, met Dawson during 2020. They discussed ways in which they could collaborate to tackle the ongoing gang violence. During those discussions, they agreed that they were both passionate about championing the same cause.
Presently, I'm in Barbados, and I still find it hard to believe that William has left us. I believe Belize is saddened by the untimely death of William, and our prayers and thoughts are with Mrs. Dawson, the kids, and the family. I believe that Belize has lost an irreplaceable soldier, a fighter for the poor man. I believe his work has touched many, many lives, and he was a champion that wanted to make a difference. He was a champion that wanted to promote a shared vision in managing crime. And I believe we have lost a great soldier.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Moses Shine Barrow, the leader of the opposition, also sent his condolences to Dawson's family. Barrow says, quote, Brother Dawson's passion and consistent hard work to help those who have fallen short in society, deter at-risk youth, and reduce crime and violence in Belize is second to none, unquote. And as you heard in the interviews with those impacted by the life of William Dawson, he is irreplaceable. But someone will have to be chosen to take up the mantle as chair of the Leadership Intervention Unit to carry on Dawson's legacy. And as the community members of Lake Independence told us, that person must be as genuine as their predecessor. Olga Gordon, the president of Eyes of the Jaguar Neighborhood Watch, says finding a new person to fill the role is a near impossible task. Minister Musa agrees.
While it is that we are not likely to find an equal replacement, perhaps we can find 2 or 3 individuals that can multitask and can make themselves available and efficient the way that Mr. Dawson did. But certainly we cannot let the legacy and the vision of Mr. Dawson pass. That is something that we owe it to him, to honor him and to continue with the path that he has led us on, because he's not just a colleague and a brother, he is our leader. He is our leader. And so we have to certainly pick up the pieces as best as we can and to continue, like I said, in the path that he has taken us down, which, like I said, has certainly yielded some very positive results.
When we caught up with Minister Musa earlier today, he was also asked for his take on the Marco Vidal surveillance footage. As we have reported, Vidal was caught on camera questioning a shopkeeper near the scene of the New Year's Eve triple murder in which his nephew, Elmer Na, has been implicated. And Musa had a different view than that of the Commissioner of Police. Here's what he told reporters.
That is something that I don't just frown upon as an attorney, but as a Belizean, I frown upon that. And I'll tell you why. Because I heard the explanation given by his attorney that basically he was trying to gather evidence of some sort of alibi. But the manner in which the former ACP Vidal went to the premises along with 2 individuals could be perceived as intimidating. And so while it is that the attorney may be right that no law was broken, if it is that that individual felt threatened in any way or intimidated in any way, as the Minister of Police, I believe that charges should be laid, because intimidation is something subjective. It is how do you feel? We are all out here watching the video and we feel intimidated. What about her? So if it is that she were to have come in and give a statement, it matters not that the video did not show anything. It matters not that he did not go there and actually issue a threat against the individual. It is how the lady perceived it. And if she perceived a threat or an intimidation coming her way, then by all means she has all right to give a report to the police, and the police has to take action on that. But I think in this case she has not given any statement.
The Commissioner of Police, who's also an attorney, said she's not a witness. So
yes, but it's not that she's not a witness. It could be that she was a potential witness. From what I'm being told, there's nothing that could be ascertained from the video footage that could either help or break the case for them, as far as I'm aware, but I'd have to check that for sure. But as far as I'm aware as of today, she's not a witness, but she's a potential witness. She is in the very same area, the same vicinity as where these murders took place.
Coming up, Garbutt family of 7 lose homes in Belize City fire. Find out the details when we come back.
When we saw that children could not access education, we listened and introduced the Free Education Pilot Project to get our youth and children back in school, free. When COVID revealed the weakness in our healthcare system, we listened to the experts and responded by rolling out the national health insurance to other parts of our nation with a plan to have every Belizean covered by NHI by the end of our first term in office. In this new fiscal year, we will roll out NHI in the Orange Walk district. That means that over 269,000 Belizeans will be registered in this life-changing program.
The Social Security Board, in collaboration with the Labor Department, takes this opportunity to remind insured persons of the requirements for compensation when on sick leave. Any employee who has worked with an employer for at least 2 months is entitled to 16 working days of sick leave with full pay every year. This is how it works. Upon approval of a sickness or injury benefit claim by SSB, 80% of the employee's weekly insurable earnings is paid as a Social Security benefit, and the difference in the employee's salary is paid by the employer. This is to ensure that the employee does not suffer any loss of wages when ill. After 16 days, compensation for sick leave is paid as a Social Security benefit only. Some conditions apply. This message is brought to you by the Social Security Board and the Labor Department. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Good morning. Thank you for calling me. This is during the inspection first. Once the inspection passes, we do the connection for you.
Our teams at BEL continue to serve you.
You could still come over or you could watch a movie or something.
Oh my god, I can't believe this happened.
Under the bed or in the closet, which one?
I got 3 boys. I need them to be better men than me. I mean, better men than we.
Please don't go wind up.
Who stop me? Hello? Who stop me? Which one I want to?
For We Family, Season 2 begins January 26 at 8 p.m. on Channel 5 and on News 5 Live's Facebook page. Brought to you by the National Commission for Families and Children in collaboration with the National Parenting Task Force and UNICEF.
While you cannot prevent accidents from happening, you can take steps to protect yourself from the financial burden that can result from an accident. Orphan Life Insurance Personal Accident Plan is the solution for you. With our personal accident plan, you are covered anywhere in the world. This plan pays out a benefit for any dismemberment, as the benefit is paid directly to you. It can also cover the need for medical artificial appliances such as wheelchair, crutches, hearing aid, and prosthetics. In the event life is lost due to an accident, the personal accident plan pays out the insured amount to the beneficiaries. Now, you can live with the confidence that we have you covered. Let the Orphan Life team assist you in planning for your future. Call us today at 221-5143 or visit our website at rfglife.com. Orphan Life Insurance, the life company.
City, after a 3-year hiatus, Old Capital Sports and Digi brings you the return of Friday Night Lights.
They're playing basketball.
going down this Friday, January 27, inside the Belize Civic Center. This matchup features the boys from Culture Capital, making their way to come face your high-octane, high-flying, sharp-shooting Belize City Defender. Come and witness Mr. Clutch David Daly, Mikey Boogie Soul, and the return of the Talladega Tornado, Mr. Nigel Jones, represent for the city as they start their journey to the first BEBL Championship. Tip-off is at 9 p.m. But come before 8:45 and get a chance to win $200 in cash. Superstar Belizean artist Yal Salia will be singing the national anthem. The official after party goes down at Shisha 8 Lounge. It's the start of the BEBL, formerly NEBL, starring your Belize City Defenders. Happening this Friday, January 27, inside the Belize Civic Center. Sponsored by Digi, Muy Uno, 123 Vegetable Oil, Honorable Anthony Mahler, The Tavern, Body 2000, Premier Charters and Tours, and Mars Rental.
Several members of the Garbutt family are tonight without a roof over their heads after a fire consumed a pair of structures within the family yard on Gentle Avenue. Most of the family was not at home except for Errol Garbutt. The fire broke out inside his home before spreading quickly to the adjacent two-story concrete and wooden structure. Everything was lost, and quick response from the National Fire Service prevented the fire from spreading to two other structures in the yard. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
Just before midday today, a fire broke out inside a wooden and zinc structure on Gentle Avenue. It was home for 53-year-old Errol Garbutt, who was outside when he was alerted of the fire. Garbutt received burns to his hands when he attempted to get inside the structure.
I locked the house when I got to the shop, and I'm outside. They sit down when the workers over this side had healed me and tell me my house on fire.
Talk to us about what you saw when you got inside.
I never get inside. No, I couldn't get the lock open. As I get my hand burns off, like I try to get the lock.
Within minutes, Garbutt's house and the adjacent two-story structure were engulfed in flames. 3 adults occupied the upper flat, including 2 of Errol's siblings and their 3 children. Firefighters and police were quick to arrive on the scene, and the blaze was contained. Fortunately, it did not spread to 2 other structures within the family property.
When I come out, I just see the fire out of promotion. I just try to help throw water, and couldn't save nothing.
Is everything inside burnt up?
Everything, it's not saved.
What did you lose? What did you lose?
Well, everything I mean, I was a pad set, the refrigerator, stove, the bed, everything, clothes, everything.
You live upstairs or downstairs?
I live downstairs, but my brother and the upstairs.
And was anything for you destroyed?
Nothing destroyed for me because I have the in my own house downstairs.
So it started in your house?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what started it?
I do not know, ma'am.
You have electricity?
Yes, ma'am, one job.
Okay, and you don't have candles or anything?
Nothing me light.
What all did you lose?
Everything, all my clothes, my passport, bird paper, everything, money. I got 115 on tennis.
Station Supervisor Kenneth Mortis of the National Fire Service shared preliminarily what the department believes may have caused the blaze.
The fire was concentrated in the upper portion of the building, and when we got into operation to extinguish this fire, that was when we learned that there was another partial structure adjacent to that original structure. Mr. Earl Garbutt, the resident of the Soul 8x10, where the fire originated from, and then we had the Gentle brothers with a common law wife and 3 kids. While we know that the building had a registered meter to BL, we're still leaning towards the fact of an electrical malfunction, for the main reason was that his structure was receiving electricity from the adjacent building from it. While Mr. Garbutt says that he was sure he didn't left anything running in terms of a fan or more so, we are still trying to directly determine exactly the cause of this fire. The information is still forthcoming as we speak, and I'm hoping that by the end of the day we can definitely say, well, this is the cause of that particular fire.
None of the structures were insured. Anyone who would like to assist the Garbutt family with recovering from this disaster can reach them at 622-9198. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
10 persons, including 3 children, are displaced following a fire in the Vietnam area of Sainbight village on Monday morning. The blaze swept through a yard that had 4 houses. 2 of those structures were gutted while the other 2 received varying degrees of damage. News 5's Marian Ali has the story in the following report.
Sometime around 8:40 on Monday morning, a fire broke out in a wooden structure that stood in the middle of a yard in Sainbight village. Drina Stevens was dropping off her children at school when she learned that the house she shared with her mother and 5 others was on fire. Altogether, Stevens' losses amount to around $30,000.
All my things that burn up and things, I don't got nothing for me.
You said you had just left home. Did you leave on anything?
I never leave on nothing because I never got no source of electricity like that.
But it started from where?
They say in my bedroom. And
Was anybody in their bedroom?
Nobody never made it there.
The fire spread quickly to an adjacent house owned and occupied by Macaria Arzu and her common-law husband, Rosendo Rokenya. They too lost everything.
I heard a voice shouting, "Fire!" So I run outside. I get so excited. I run outside and see where the fire was coming from. Unfortunately, the fire was coming from my sister's house. So I took a bucket, filled it up with water, tried to out her house so that my house, to save my house. But unfortunately, the fire spread and then my house got burned up.
Rosendo Rokenya suffered minor injuries while trying to salvage some of their belongings. The heat was too much for him, and today he was soliciting help from passers-by.
First thing I grab my gas tank, and I gonna throw that way over here now. Then I come back, I try to grab some more things, and that fire me down there over there. And when I see the fire stick on we house, and when I try to come back, the fire was blaze up me too.
The mishap has left Drina Stevens also needing assistance.
I would really appreciate while he help while he school things, shoes, maybe uniform, some clothing, and some of my household item where I lost. I lost that of thing and easy.
While Macaria Arzu could also use some help, she was taking things in stride.
I just thank God that I know it could have been worse, because then if you notice my house, the high step, and then I done big. By the time the fire done approach me, but I glad that I come out safely.
The fire victims have taken shelter inside the lower flat of another house in a yard belonging to Arzu's brother who resides in the U.S. That house suffered minor damages on its upper flat. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
If you wish to assist any of the fire victims, you can contact Drina Stevens at cell number 653-4978. While the fire victims are going to need all the help they can get to start over, the big question is what caused the fire that set them back? Today's Kenneth Mortiz, station supervisor with the National Fire Service, told the media that the investigation may never determine the exact cause, but electrical faultiness and arson have been ruled out. In fact, Mortiz went one step further.
Where the fire started from would represent the larger of all the structures, which was a 20 by 20 wooden. While we know that these buildings didn't have electricity, we know that the mother of these children, up to this morning, they weren't fully cooperating with neither the police department nor the fire department. They are leaning towards somebody maliciously set fire to this establishment. The fire department believes otherwise. We have unconfirmed reports from one of the neighbors, and it's unconfirmed because this is a conversation between 2 of the kids, whereby this neighbor heard conversation between the 2 kids saying that, "You see, you set this place on fire." While I must stress that this conversation came from two children, it's unfortunate because we cannot take their information credible in the absence of the parent or a social worker. As of this morning, the family members were still being questioned by the police department, which would aid us, the fire department, in coming with a concrete final analysis as to how the fire started. If that family isn't cooperative with either agencies, unfortunately, we would have to rule this fire as an undetermined cause. But we can definitely say it wasn't electrical, nor it wasn't a malicious act in terms of arson, as what the family members are trying to say. 2 structures were completely burned. The remaining 3 sustained varying fire, heat, and water damage of varying degrees. Again, unfortunately for these family members, neither of the structures were insured. And collectively, you're looking at a loss of anywhere between $75,000 to $90,000 for structures alone, and the content varies between another $100,000. It is a major loss for the families.
Tasha Anderson lived literally just a few feet away from Makaria Arzu's house that was completely destroyed. Anderson told us that she suffered very minor losses, but her house is still habitable. But fire victim Rosendo Rikenia told us that the distance the fire trucks have to travel from Placencia to Sainbight to extinguish a blaze takes away crucial time that could be spent actually fighting the fire and saving property. Rikenia is hopeful that Sainbight will soon have at least a fire truck.
We're still staying inside. We got that mattress, and then we sleep on the ground. We just need a little minor repair and stuff like that.
But at least 3 miles, but at least a little good half an hour before they reach her, for real. Because a lot of bump there on the road there. I'm happy that we really got the fire engine at least.
In the village?
Yes, mama. You know, then all of this time, thing get burned here. They got one next place where I know that things, fire now for play fire, when fire grabs something, it's gone.
After the break, Chamber puts together draft campaign financing legislation. We'll tell you about that. But first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
You have been a safe driver all your life when an unavoidable accident happens. But this does not mean that your insurance premium must increase. With RF&G's Accident Forgiveness Program, safe drivers will not lose their no-claims discounts because of those minor, unavoidable accidents. For more information on RF&G's Accident Forgiveness Program, contact us at 223-5734. When it comes to motor insurance, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
We're not done yet. You have more chances to win with BEL Customer Rewards. New designs for the new year from Design Depot. We teamed up with Design Depot to give you these great GE prizes. You can win this electric dryer, electric washer, or this electric stove, all with amazing features. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more information on how you can win even more with BEL's Customer Rewards.
Today we're here shopping at B-Mart. Today we're making the green super smoothie. Let's get after it.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Who offers the best home internet experience? The truth is, Digi, of course. Diginet has the largest fiber network and the fastest speeds with the most reliable service. That's more learning, more earning, more gaming, more bonding, more sharing, getting more things done. And now, Diginet is even more affordable with the new entry plan, a 20 megabits per second fiber connection for just $49 monthly, and increased speeds in all plans. The truth is, only Digi has the ultimate home internet experience, with savings up to $270 when you bundle. Wireless and cable can't give you that. So what are you waiting for? Sign up or make the switch to Diginet today to enjoy more speeds to get more done. Digi, our national telecom.
The urgent need for campaign financing reform is an issue of national importance that continues to be treated as a political football. Both major parties have raised the subject, and the People's United Party even went as far as including it in the Plan Belize manifesto ahead of the general elections in 2020. Most recently, however, the Briceño administration unveiled its medium-term development strategy for 2022 to 2026, which draws heavily from the party's declaration of principles. Interestingly, campaign financing reform has once again been pushed back in its long list of priorities, all the way beyond the PUP's existing term of office. This morning, the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry sat with the media to discuss the very topic, as well as the formulation of draft legislation to address the issue of campaign financing reform.
It's part of our commitment that we made to the media to actually have a conversation, more of an informational session to advise and update on ongoing matters. And the most recent one for us is campaign financing. As you would know, that the government launched their medium-term development strategy on Monday. We actually met with our members last week, Thursday, to actually make a presentation and to get the feedback from our members as to how we move forward with campaign financing reform. I'm happy to say that our members gave us a resounding nod of approval for us to move ahead with this. So today's session really was to inform the media of the intricate elements of what campaign finance is, looking at a draft bill that we've put together and sharing what could be put into law. And of course, then we will see how we can work with the government in order to ensure that this is passed.
According to Marcella Blake, president of the BCCI, the preliminary version of the proposed legislation requires the input of a legal drafter to formally craft the language of the bill.
It's a draft, so we will still need to take it to the draftsperson who have the better experience in, the legal languages. It's really just figuring out the best way to maneuver this within the current political arena to ensure that, in fact, this bill is actually put in place. It's not a fix to everything. It is not a complete answer or a final document that is not, as we said earlier, live, which means that it'll be continuously changing. And as we find the gaps, as the loopholes are identified, we anticipate that there are going to be adjustments in order to make it better.
Give us a timeline in terms of what the Chamber is looking at for this draft to actually reach the cabinet and legislative table.
We don't have a timeline at the moment. It will have to go through the process. As was highlighted earlier, there is a process for us to be able to take it via the Senate to the Senate private bill option. And for that to happen, there's a long process that must be followed. Well, I shouldn't say long. A process that definitely can be maneuvered in a reasonable time. So it is really incumbent on it getting to the Senate and for the vote to actually occur. One of the other things to highlight here is the fact that this was a part of the campaign promise by the current administration. In their PR and publications, pre and post getting into office, there was in fact campaign financing on their first 100 days. So it is concerning for us to see that, in fact, in the medium-term development strategy 2022 to 2026 that was launched on Monday, this is actually set out to be completed sometime around 2026. Why would it need to take that long if it, in fact, was a part of your first 100-day promise?
When we caught up with Minister Musa today, we also asked him for an update on the proposed cannabis referendum. As we have said, the cannabis legislation was shelved back in 2022 due to the expenses attached to a referendum. Minister Musa was hopeful that the referendum could be held in the first quarter of 2023. But time is ticking, and there are no reports of any such exercise taking place anytime soon. And today, Minister Musa told us that he is afraid that such a time may have passed. Here's how he puts it.
I saw Costa Rica this week passing adult use legislation. I saw the British Virgin Islands passing that legislation. We are getting left behind, certainly, and the more countries around us that go in that particular direction, I personally think once Mexico goes fully legal, then Belize would be in a huge problem at that point. We're already importing illegally from Mexico, but at that point, once they are legal, you can expect an even larger amount of illegal cannabis, not knowing what it is that we're importing coming into the country. And so it's unfortunate, but I could see where that window is closing. It would still be a good move, in my opinion, for us to have the referendum this year. But that is a decision that Cabinet would have to make. As you know, it's a very costly venture. But again, that's something we're committed to, taking it to a referendum before legalizing.
When we return, a social and behavior change communication campaign is launched.
You know the saying, desperate times call for desperate measures. What do you do when you get to a dead end? Sometimes life just doesn't go the way we planned it to go. And when you're in those seasons of life, what do? Where do you go? Who do you turn to? Join Sagebrush Church as we begin our series, Dead End Desperation, where we'll talk about following God in some of the hardest moments of our lives. Be sure to visit sagebrush.church or download the Sagebrush app for locations, service times, and more.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank contactless MasterCard debit card. Introducing our standard debit and MasterCard Platinum debit cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. and your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Ray, what's wrong? It's him. He hit me again. Oh my gosh. This time it was worse. He slammed my face in the wall and threatened to kill me. If you or someone you know is experiencing family violence, call 0800-A-WAY-OUT. Or you can text or WhatsApp to 672-9628.
Environmentally degradable plastics, or EDP, are plastics that are affected by a combination of environmental conditions that cause the plastic to break down within an acceptable time frame. They are specifically designed to degrade into carbon dioxide, water, and other biomass substances. The level of breakdown can vary based on standard test methods appropriate to the plastic. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
Every year, Belize loses thousands of acres of forest to wildfires. These fires threaten human livelihoods and property, destroy forest products, and endanger wildlife. Large amounts of smoke produced by wildfires can have serious impacts on our immune system and our respiratory and heart health. However, fires that are well planned and controlled can be beneficial to ecosystems and agriculture, while protecting human health and property by reducing the buildup of high-risk fuels, such as tall dry grass and dead trees. Ultimately, this can reduce the risk of wildfires. If you engage in the use of fire, please do so responsibly. You should always have a plan and a backup plan to avoid starting a wildfire. This includes monitoring weather patterns to avoid burning on very hot, dry, and/or windy days. Be a good neighbor by informing persons in your community that you are planning to burn. Have the right tools, enough water and manpower to control the fire. Also, never leave a fire unattended. Always ensure that you put it out properly. Fire management training in the central Belize area is available through your local NGO network. Contact the Belize Zoo at 613-4966 or education@belizezoo.org for more information. Do your part to protect life, health, and our natural resources.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Data from the Belize Crime Observatory shows the number of reported cases of gender-based violence increased by 25% between 2021 and 2022. It remains a key pillar in the national gender policy that seeks to end violence against women and girls. Today, the National Women's Commission launched a communication campaign strategy that has plans to roll out to sensitize various sectors of society on behavioral and social changes needed to achieve this outcome. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
The Ministry of Human Development, through the National Women's Commission, has been actively working to end violence against women and girls, and to do just that, it needs to change the way people are socialized and their behavior towards differences. Today, the social and behavior communication campaign to create that change was launched.
This is a never-ending struggle, the fight against gender-based violence. As a matter of fact, in my remarks a little earlier, we talked about the 6 major areas of the national gender policy: health, education, employment, and the creation of wealth for women. And then the 4th one, to show the importance of this, is the fight against gender-based violence. Of course, the 5th one is women in power and decision-making. We need more women. And then institutional strengthening. I think one of the most important factors when we talk about this is our belief deep inside that behaviors can change and that there can be changes in attitude. Not because I used to do something 10 years ago in one way, I cannot change and do it better today. And fighting against gender-based violence, violence against women and girls, is something that we have to internalize.
President of the National Women's Commission, Thea Garcia Ramirez, says that there must be changes in the attitudes we have normalized in the Belizean society.
When we have, for example, gender reveal parties, we have blue for boys, pink for girls, and we are saying just that signals to you that some people actually feel like colors have a gender. And they don't. Toys don't have a gender. If different people have different interests and all interests are valid, household chores don't have a gender. I mean, life skills, you know, it doesn't. Chores, household chores should be equally divided. That sort of thing we have come to normalize, like only girls wash dishes and only boys take care of the yard. That feeds into a very patriarchal type of mindset. It perpetrates stereotypes and biases that we take to work. And then we have another set of problems at work that perpetrate rape culture, that perpetrate sexual harassment at work, sexual harassment on the street.
One of the slogans at today's launch is "It ends with me." But Human Development Minister Dolores Balderramas Garcia says that change should also begin with each and every person.
It actually starts with me. The change in our behaviors so that we can believe that we can do better. And unfortunately, I was sharing some statistics that the reports of gender-based violence have gone up significantly between 2021 and 2022. Now, you'll ask yourself, is it happening more? Or is it that people are reporting more? Is it that people are reporting more? Well, we wouldn't want to know that there's more, but I think the reporting will help us to focus, laser-like focus on what is happening in our communities so that we can begin that change.
The communication strategy will engage all stakeholders and help them to reevaluate as individuals, as families, and as a society through a gender lens.
It's pressing the reboot button and maybe starting from scratch, and yes, going into government departments, but also going to schools, going into rural communities where we have some of our most vulnerable members of society, you know, rural women, indigenous women, young girls, adolescents, but also boys. If you want to reduce the perpetration of gender-based violence, the way you do that is really by trying to stop it before it starts.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
The Belize Red Cross has come to be known as the humanitarian organization that is on the ground supporting the government with relief to those affected during times of natural disasters. But outside of providing items such as tarps and mattresses, blankets and other supplies, it has been transitioning to also providing financial support via partnerships with donors and international organizations. Recently, we reported about collaboration to provide monies to affected persons of Hurricane Lisa through DigiWallet. And so a 2-day capacity building workshop concluded today at Biltmore Hotel with the International Federation of Red Cross to get the Belize Red Cross cash ready. News 5 got an idea of how that works and the criteria that must be met.
Right now we're doing a workshop with the Belize Red Cross to get them cash ready. So what this means is that they're able to add another instrument of assistance to the population of Belize. In this case, is the delivery of cash. That's just another way to respond to the needs of the community. So it's not as easy as just, calling people and giving them out money. It's actually, making sure there's certain conditions that have to be met in order for this to be able to happen. So for example, we need to know what are the necessities of the community. Is by giving them cash, we'll be able to, to satisfy those needs, then that's a check and we can work with them.
We as a National Society is known for reaching out and going out to people after the storm, giving tarps and giving food and giving clothing. And while we still want to do that, we are adding another component now of giving people cash. Like Daniela says, that helps people with a level of autonomy and they are able to prioritize what they need instead of what we tell them they need. And the reason for us speaking to the media today is really to get people accustomed to the idea of giving us cash and having that as a new form of relief and disaster assistance. Because I think a lot of times in disaster, people think, okay, let me donate some clothes and let me donate some food. But maybe the food you're donating, people don't necessarily eat, they don't necessarily like, or maybe there's different in cultures, so we want to be sensitive to all of those things.
27-year-old Andel Jamal Alvarez was discharged from the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital earlier today, 11 days after he was shot by police in Punta Gorda. Alvarez has been left paralyzed following the incident, but that did not stop prosecutors from charging him with 6 counts, including aggravated assault, firearm-related offenses, and handling stolen goods. On the night of January 14th, Punta Gorda police were responding to a report of a shooting on Mahogany Street. They were in looking for 2 armed suspects on a motorcycle. That's when Police Constable Luella White encountered Alvarez traveling on a motorcycle headed in the opposition from the police mobile. Alvarez was reportedly told to stop, but instead he allegedly attempted to flee the scene. When the officers gave chase, Alvarez's motorcycle malfunctioned and he attempted to make good his escape on foot. The officers pursued him, and that's when Alvarez is said to have produced a firearm and pointed it in her direction. Fearing for her life, PC White fired at him with her service weapon, injuring him in the upper left shoulder. Earlier today, Alvarez was arraigned outside of the lower court by Senior Magistrate Tricia Pitts Anderson, as he remained inside the police vehicle. He was granted bail in the sum of $10,000. We have been reporting about the mishap at Serenity Shores Resort in San Pedro that claimed the life of 76-year-old Joy Quayle. The Belizean American retiree was trying to use a goods winch located outside of the resort to reach from the fort to the first floor, but the cable snapped and she fell to her death. Today, the police revealed that the post-mortem examination certified that the cause of death was multiple organ failure due to, in layman's terms, head injury and hemorrhaging of the lungs due to multiple trauma. The investigation is ongoing to determine whether criminal negligence was involved in Quayle's death, since the lift that she used was not an elevator that provides protection in the event the cable snapped, as what occurred in this case. Up next, how's the minimum wage adjustment coming along?
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
In 2018, I was diagnosed with
cervical 4A, stage 4A cancer. First, it was at the size of a grapefruit. That's what the doctor told me. No? The kidney got enlarged. I couldn't do any chemotherapy because of the kidney. So I had to do only radiation. And I did my first session of 25. And then when I finished with the 25 sessions, I went back. She checked it and she saw 4 centimeters. And I went back for the next 10 days. And after that, when she checked it again, she said, oh, it's like nothing is there. It wasn't painful, but it's a machine that you go under, and they have like a big, like a circular, and that goes 5 times. It'll take 5 minutes. 5 minutes to do the radiation, 1 session. Then you go back the next morning, another session. Well, I personally will highly recommend Galenia Hospital because of its good services, friendly staff, the doctors, very caring. Well, I just want to thank them for everything that they have done for me, you know, the staff and the doctor, especially Dr. Jamie, because she was my doctor for the radiation. No?
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Hola usuario de eCash, la aplicación eCash está disponible en español. Cambiar el idioma de tu aplicación de eCash de inglés a español es rápido y sencillo. Deja mostrarte cómo se hace. Primero, abre tu aplicación eCash. Introduce tu PIN. Toca el icono More en la parte inferior de tu pantalla. Selecciona Security. Selecciona Language. Y luego selecciona Spanish. Vuelve a introducir tu PIN y ya está. Tu aplicación de eCash está ahora en español y puedes seguir disfrutando de tu cartera digital eCash. La aplicación eCash de Belize Bank te hace la vida más fácil.
Messi! Off goal! What a goal from Leo Messi! What an incredible strike from Leo Messi! Neymar and Messi is standing over this. Messi! Off goal! What a goal from Leo
Great entertainment stays with you, and we bring you great entertainment. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
The $5 minimum wage came into effect on New Year's Day, notwithstanding several concerns being raised by the business community ahead of its implementation. Since the adjustment came into force several weeks ago, small businesses have been modifying hours for their employees. In the face of these changes, we asked the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry earlier today if they have been receiving feedback from private sector businesses on the matter.
We haven't yet. We've been speaking to some members. In fact, this was part of what we discussed the last time we were here, which is businesses will find ways of ensuring that they can stay afloat at least in the short term. So with that increase, they're looking at the ways of how they'll be able to continue business and continue to hold on to the workers that they have. We all know that the pool of skilled workers in Belize is rather small. So when you have persons who add value to your organization, you will find ways of how you keep them.
It's been almost 2 months since Hurricane Lisa hit Belize. affecting over 5,000 families. While most of the affected persons have received some level of support from NEMO, as it relates to structural damages, there are others who've lost their employment and are in need of assistance. Today, News 5 asked Minister of Human Development, Dolores Balderramos Garcia, about an update from the ministry's perspective. She says that they have not given up on long-term relief for those who are still affected.
The initial relief, we did really have to wrap that up in terms of the cooperation between the Ministry of Human Development and NEMO, for example. We had to kind of wrap that up in just before Christmas, you know. But long-term relief, we have not given up on it because we are still hearing about people whose roofs were damaged, or they may not be able to get back to unemployment because of the Hurricane Lisa. So we don't give up on that. We make sure that we continue to give the support. And I can mention to you that government did make the decision after the hurricane that in terms of the hardest hit areas of the country, the Belize District, Belize City, and Belize Rural, we would attempt to give a little more of the grocery, the allocation of the grocery to families who have most been affected. So you can see the commitment of the Briceño government. Again, we can't feed everybody, but we made an increase of the grocery bag so that people who have been really affected can get something.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.